Assalamu alaikum. Today I am here to give you a presentation, and the topic of my presentation is Slack. Now, first of all, I will tell you a little bit about Slack tool, its introduction and background features, and what are tools that are supported by Slack and why they are used. We will discuss all the details according to knowledge areas. Now, I am Mohammed Usama Wahid, and my group members are Bilawal Hussain, Fadul Hassan Talhabat, and Rehanuddin Rashid. Now, starting from the introduction and background of Slack. Messaging application. Slack is a messaging application for business, yet it also so much more. It's your company's home for everyone and everything. Slack was created by Flickr. Slack co-founders are Stewart Butterfield and Carl Henderson. All your communication into one place. Slack brings all your team communication at one place, make it all instantly searchable and available where you go. Customers of Slack includes Adobe, New York Times, Walmart, Nike, Capital One, McKinsey, T-Mobile. Now, coming towards features of Slack. Slack is a communication platform to operate things from home or office. Slack is used to control small and large business from anywhere around the world by using voice and video calls, by making channels group of team members that are working on any type of project or business. Public and private channels. In Slack we have public and private channel features where we can invite our team members or divide team members according to specific purpose or responsibility. We can also message our team members using channels, or also we do direct messages, calls to specific purpose, to specific person. So we can call team members also using direct messages when needed. Organize space to share ideas, set deadlines, and making decisions. So here Slack is made up of organized spaces for anything you are working on. You can move a project forward way faster, share ideas, set deadlines, making decision, note down the activities together in a dedicated space. People do their best work when they have a place to work together. So that place is Slack. And send files, folders, search messages, file images or videos. We can also send files, folders using direct messages, chat. Also, Slack allows to search any previous files, images, any important video or any other file through search bar. We can also add apps and integrate into Slack, and we can use it inside Slack like Google Sheet, Jira Cloud, GitHub, Google Drive, Zoom, Trello, any other app related to our purpose of work. We can add apps simply by clicking on apps in the side navigation and then type name of that app in the search box of Slack and click on add. So app will be added in our workspace, and it will be shown next into the new window. We have studied Slack app in such a way that we can cover all the knowledge areas that are studied in class by using Slack integrated features or the tools that are provided by Slack app. So how can we manage our project using these tools? So for this purpose we have to cover the knowledge areas that are discussed in class, and we will discuss these knowledge areas in detail here one by one, also by using Slack app, how Slack is used to cover these knowledge areas. So coming towards the first, that is integration management. This includes all the process activities to identify, combine or coordinate the various process and project management activities within the project management process group. So integrate a task management tab such as Trello, to-do list and vendor list. This means that by adding a task management tools, uh, task managing management apps such as Trello, To-Do List, Wunderlist for adding items or writing down identified activities. In this way, we don't have to leave Slack to add items to your personal or team's task list and share it with your team members. As you see the edit screenshot of Trello app that I used in Slack where I list down my activities where team member will talk on this. Coordinate tasks with team members. We can coordinate task activities with our team members by using channels that we created for our work, project or any business in order to get the things done faster. And the next is pin or save messages. uh, Pin messages or saved messages and add bookmarks. If you had rather not use a task management app for identify activities, we can also do this by creating a Slack to-do list by pinning or saving message within the channel discussion. Pinned message can be viewed by clicking the pin icon on top of the channel header under channel name as shown in the figure where it shows the one message is pinned. So by clicking onto this icon, team members will talk about the important message which are pinned or they talk about any activity which need to be done during the project. In the same way, we add bookmarks which can also be seen next to pinned item. So in this way, we can also done integration management using Slack applications such as defining activities, combining them, coordinating activities and process with the team members. Now I invite Talabat to continue the presentation.
Change them over like the issues come like when we have to change the problems, but using the scope management, by doing scope management we try to minimize those issues. So I'm going to explain how we can do scope management using Slack app. Now in scope management we have to ensure the project includes all work required and only the work required has to complete successfully. So, in order to explain scope and to check how much work is required for the successful completion of the project, we have to create a work breakdown structure. Now, now Slack provides us everything that we need to create a good work breakdown structure, like Google Sheets, Lucid Charts. Like Lucid Charts is the most common tools that we can use to make UML diagrams, like activity diagrams, and many more. So as you can see in the figure breakdown in the as you can see in the figure which I have provided in my slide, that the breakdown structure is made in the Slack, which is made by using Lucid Charts. Now I didn't have to go to like any other tool outside of my Slack. Like Slack provided me everything that I had to do and everything that I needed to make a work breakdown structure. So like this is really helpful, like you get all of your required things inside a window. So the second thing that the Slack provides is workcast. So if you want to keep task management entirely within Slack, add workcast to Slack and then use commands such as to do to assign tasks to other team member or my to do to manage your personal tasks. Like this makes us like most of our manual work that we have to do to assign tasks, we can just use commands and things like that to just assign tasks to our team members and do the stuff minimize them, automate the most of the stuff that we have to do manually. Okay, Workhouse helps us and helps us organize teamwork, manage projects, create tasks, and all without leaving Slack. So, like, it's a whole complete package that you get within Slack. Like, you don't even have to shift your window to do this. Like, in this way, scope management is easily successfully managed it within the Slack. Okay, so my next point is resource management. Now, the resource management is also a very important thing while we are doing a project management, because we like no one would like to want, like no one would try to or like want to add like useless resources without doing like it's because like we'll be consuming everything from our budget, like which will not be a good thing for the whole project. Assembling a new project team, we need to cross check potential team members ability. After all, we don't want to reallocate resources or hastily hire new people soon after the project kicks off, because you forget to check someone's vacation schedule. Like if someone is going on schedule, you have to keep in check, because then you'll have to assign a backup resource in case someone is not available. With Slack resource management, we can easily check and receive the information directly via Slack. Like Slack provides us a direct communication with our whole team. So you can see that using Team Deck app, we manage the resources for a project like any team member whose information is given when he will be free from the project or when he will be available for the work to utilize him for other projects. So it is easy to manage other resources like printing machine, person, holidays, and within the Slack tool. So it has everything that useful that's required for a communication. Say suppose we are not using Slack and we are doing everything like this manually. So and if the person forgets to update you and things like that, it's not good for the project. Like you don't even know what's going on. So you make everything organized using these kind of resources. In this way, we can develop team for our project using Slack tool and manage resources for our project. I told you that we can see the availability of the person by using Team Deck app, and we can use this information to manage our project. Like there are other tools like Hub Planner, Specit, UltiPro, and Google Drive, which we can also use for the resource management and stuff. The risk management like Hyperproof, Standard Fusion, Logic Gate, and etc. etc. So in this case, like we have used, as you can see in my slide, I have placed a screenshot. We have used Hyperproof in our project to manage risks. Risk can be neutral or business. Hyperproof is compliance management software designed to help businesses conduct audits, assess and mitigate potential risks, and manage compliance programs. Administrators can use the dashboard to track auditors' requests and gain visibility into program summaries. Security controls identified risks and ongoing team activities on a centralized platform. So everything related to risk you can easily see on your dashboard. So if you have if you think that something can cause a risk, you just point it out on the dashboard uh, using the graphs and stuff. We can use Google Sheets in Slack to do qualitative and quantitative risk analysis. There are also threads which help us create organized discussions around specific messages. They let us create a topic in more detail without adding clutter to a channel or direct message confirmation. Like everything is completely managed. You don't have to create a mess of the message. So if you have anything related to business risk management, you'll open a thread relative to the business risk management, and you will keep all of your discussions in that specific thread so that it won't get messy and everything will be well organized. Moreover, we can also use channels that can help team members to brainstorm within the group. Who join the channel identifies how project team will respond to the risk. Though this can Though this, we can make a risk response plan document which have the necessary details like identify risk, their impacts, their costs, and then identifies how the project team will respond to risk. By using Slack integrated tool, we can do these things by staying within the Slack instead of going from one window to another window.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Rehanuddin Rashid, and my topic is project schedule management through Slack. Project schedule management includes the process required to manage the timely completion of the project, keep project on track, send updates and daily reminder in Slack, keep everyone on the top of the project's process. There are two use Automate Reminder and Zapper tool. Automate Reminder tool. Meeting reviews, approvals, status updates if you are not tracking them carefully or sending yourself an automated reminder. There are the good chance sometimes some things will slip through the cracks. Zapper. Use third-party app. Reminder in Slack at the specific times. Connect your Google Calendar app to Slack to send the entire daily, weekly, monthly reminder. The next one is project procurement management. Procurement is the art of acquiring, buying goods, services, and work from an external source. The art of buying resource. People in your company would not longer visit your e-procurement tool to buy things, but would instant talk and automate system that would understand their needs. So that's why exactly what modes are in Slacks. An interface for the user to interact with the system with structured way. Of course, this would be mean that system is background would have to understand your request. Communication with different people. By adding different group of people around the world regarding buying and selling, Slack is helpful in communication with those people much faster as compared to other applications. Dealing with people. Dealing with people, handling arguments, and much more like buying different prices, packages of different organizations using the integrates apps use according to the needs and requirement. Google Drive. The best application which is used most of the people is Google Drive, and we can buy plans for saving large amount of data using Slack and handling all these billing in Excel or spreadsheet. The next one is project stakeholder management. Stakeholders are a person or organizations who are actually involved in the project or whose interests may be positive or negative affected by the performance or competitions of the project. In the Slacks, we can create channels for our stakeholders. Engagement of the stakeholder is very important. Using Slack, we can engage our stakeholder to look into the progress and getting live updates regarding the project using different apps like Sigma here for showing the prototype of and design and workflow of the website or applications. And we can also live call, video call, screen sharing. Basically, you can clear your debates and misunderstanding by recording using communication features like video call, screen recording, and audio voice call. Slacks provide us smoothly participation for stakeholders, which will result in strong bond between us and stakeholder. Thank you.
Okay, let's continue our next knowledge area, which is project cost management. Slack provides an integrated app feature by which we can access to millions of apps, including some great ones, such as Microsoft Excel, which helps a project manager in managing and calculating budget and cost estimation of the project. And with this, he can track project cost and how much cost is used and how budget plans are going. All the project team members can view this particular file and can check the updates. Project manager can give guidelines if the project is not going according to the budget and estimation. Let's talk about project communication management. Starting from channel, a channel is where you can find the file, people, information, and tools necessary to successfully complete work. For a project manager, keeping things organized is the first priority. Different channels can be created for different purposes, such as projects, teams, or topics. So a project manager can arrange things according to his needs by using Slack channels. Okay, the next is threads. Threads are useful for organizing Slack discussions. Team members and the stakeholders can start message thread in channel and direct messages. And of course, if you are not interested, you can follow or unfollow threads anytime. Next is voice calls. Slack comes with a built-in calling feature which you can use to call at least one of your teammates via a direct message, regardless of the Slack plan you are on. However, calling from a channel or group direct message is only allowed if you are subscribed to a paid Slack plan. You may also integrate other calling apps with Slack such as Zoom, JoinMe, Ring Central, and Cisco WebEx. To start using Slack, a project manager of your company must first sign up for it, pick a team URL, and then allow team members to join by approving their emails. If your team is new and you are still in a testing mode, start with a free version. It archives up to 10,000 of your most recent messages. You can send an unlimited number of messages which you can search through and retrieve on demand. So that's all from my side now. Let's I would like to invite Rihanuddin Rashid to further continue the presentation.
In project quality management, we are setting the benchmarks. We use the tool and tactics like designings, prototypings, sketching, charts. So, which tool are help us in Slack app that are Figma, Sketch, Sketchboard, Canva that are used for the designing and prototyping and making the flow charts and other diagrams. We can use the Lucid chart, which is integrated in our Slack app. Now we relate process group with our Slack app. How is it beneficial? When we are initiating the project, we are focusing and discussing about various topics like project charter. We are talking about project managers focuses, visibility studies, as well as customer needs and requirements and their goals. These are the whole bunch of discussion we can done through the creating channels, adding participants, creating the voice channels, as well as creating the chat groups in Slack app. The next is planning. After initiating the project, the team will working and making the plans for basically resource management, for the cost management, as well as the schedule management, etc. through communication channels and using Google Calendars and call and meets in Slack app. And the other thing is the project manager create a work breakdown structures and resource breakdown structure through the using spreadsheet and Excels to arrange the meetings in Slack and share with the teams in our Slack app. Now next is executing. The executing in we are making the risk databases, risk threshold, risk trigger, residential risk, secondary risk. So it's very challenging to find these things. So the Slack is help us to integrate with GitHub. The GitHub is an integrated app that used to track the team progress as well as we making the different versions which developer is code written in that day. So these things we can monitoring. And the next one is now the second last is controlling. First of all, we are controlling our project using the communication channels and we check that our project is going in a wrong direction or the right direction through the discussion in communication channels in Slack app. So we can control of the project through the reviewing the plans as we can see the reports of the GitHubs and we can make the reports timely to control our the project progress reports in our Slack app. The last process group is closing. Before closing the project, we do some activities to rectify whether the project is completely closed or not, to making checklist and surveys and different activities taking from employer or the team. So these activities whole are like the scope validation, quality control, closing out vendor contracts, and releasing software team project and lesson learned document. So these whole things we can do our integrated Slack apps like Todoist, closing bill, Workast, native form, and form director. At the end, we create a final report of our the project, and we learn from the mistakes and identify the mistakes, and then we properly close the project.
Before ending our presentation, I want to add some extras, um, which are pros and cons about Slack. So starting from pros, you can create channels within the company. For example, you can have Slack channels for each client that includes all the team members who are involved with that client project. Number two, channels can be public, private, shared, or multi-workplace. Number three, it make it easier to share and collaborate with someone in real time. This is great for when you need an immediate response about a deadline. Number four, your data within the platform is always protected thanks to the great security provided by Slack. Now let's talk about cons. Your conversation get deleted after 14 days. So if you have sent something important within a channel, make sure you make a note of it. Number two, there is minimum file storage. When files are sent through Slack instead of email, it can be frustrating because you only get as much storage as you choose to pay for. As a company, so Slack slowly deletes file over time. Number three, getting Slack notification throughout the day. It has numerous ways to notify you when you have a new messages, which creates that stimulus to see what's going on. So getting so much notification is also a headache for a person. Like if you are not interested in any of the thread and you are continuously getting notification on regular basis, it becomes a disaster for you. So that's conclude our presentation. I hope you have understand all the features related to Slack, and as a project manager, and I hope you have liked our presentation. If you have any question or a query related to Slack, you can ask in the comment section, or you can email us the question. Thank you. Have a nice day.